Hi guys. Oh yeah, that's really close. It's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. I forgot that I had zoomed way in. I kind of scared myself when I saw my hands. Okay, so today I am filming a bunch of videos. I have like 20 pans in the fire right now. So the first one I'm going to do, I had a request from my dear friend Dee Dee. She was struggling a little bit with her Crop-A-Dile in one of her videos, and I wanted to give her some little helpful tips and hints. So I'm gonna do that real quick. If you are cool with your Crop-A-Dile and you don't need any help with that, in the description box I have the time where I start doing the second part of her request, which was for some bead ideas, like dangles and things of that nature. So if you don't want to watch the Crop-A-Dile part, you can skip forward in the video and just watch the beads if that's what you're interested in. So, all right, the Crop-A-Dile. It is an amazing tool. For those of you who have it, you know that. It does wonderful things, especially I love it because I have arthritis and fibromyalgia, and you know, squeezing is not my strong suit. And this sucker will punch holes through really thick book board without much trouble at all. So I love it. I'm glad I have it. Someday I would like to get the big monster creepy looking one, just because there have been times where I wished I could, you know, reach further into a page or whatever, but it is amazing. Now, I know that I'm not the only one who struggled when I first got it to understand the beautiful instructions, and I don't know why they were so confusing to me, but I feel better knowing that I wasn't the only one that was confused in the beginning. But it was like, as soon as I figured out what to do, and it took a while, I was like, well, duh, that's what it says in the instructions. But I, like everyone else, was really confused when I first read through this. As you can see, I even like marked through the one you're not supposed to do so that I would only look at the, you know, the picture with the correct method, and I still did it wrong, guys, for like a really long time. So, and I couldn't figure out why, you know, my eyelets were constantly wrong, messed up, you know, broken, whatever. Luckily, I didn't break the tool. So I'm just gonna quickly, I say quickly, but who knows, kind of go over the contraption to begin with. So you probably already know, you can punch an 1/8 of an inch hole, or you can punch a 3/16 inch hole. And those are the eyelet sizes that this is meant to work with as well. I have tried using like a 1/4 inch eyelet. It doesn't work. So, anyway, you've got your guides, your depth guides, which are not terribly accurate, I have found, but it's good once you know where you want to be. You can kind of set it, and it does help if you're doing multiple holes in, you know, at the same depth. What else? And then down here is the confusing part. Okay, so if you can see, and you can look at your own if it's easier, you have the word base here, and then you have the not a word, but this is the top, and it actually shows a picture of an eyelet and a little arrow, okay? And this is where I got really confused. So, but now it seems very simple. So I'm gonna show you an eyelet. I might use a bigger one, just, no, I'm not going to, because I feel like that might be more confusing. So this, I'm gonna put this down for just a second. All right, so here is an eyelet, and this one is a 3/16. inch. So, oh yeah, let me grab my tweezers. That might be easier to hold this bad boy. All right, there we go. Okay, so if you see there, you have the like top, right? That is this part. And then you have the little shaft part that goes through the paper, right? Okay, now let's get our Crop-A-Dile back in the picture here. If I can, I'm trying really hard. Okay, so do you see how the picture on the Crop-A-Dile matches the eyelet? All right, and the arrow pointing down indicates that this little post here on the apparatus goes inside the top of your eyelet. That is what confused me for the longest time. I kept putting it in this way, and that doesn't work. You have to put it in this way so that it matches that picture. Once I figured that out, I had zero problems with this tool. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. I have lots of sizes of eyelets, as you can see. These, I'm not sure what size those are. I don't even know if I'll ever be able to use those unless I get a different tool, because they're super tiny. But that's beside the point. I have these flower ones here. And then I have these larger ones that I have to use the tools that came with them in a hammer. So I hardly ever use those because that's just does not work for me, but I have them. And then I have the ones that are 3/16 like I have out already. And then I have my tiny little macaroon with the eyelashes. And it's full of what I call my 1/8 of an inch eyelets. Now, they aren't really. They're like a little bit more than 1/8. They're probably like, it's not even, I can't even put in, it's just a little bit more. So what I do is I use my, they're like right in between. They're like, it's weird. I use my 1/8 of an inch hole punch for these little guys. And I use the smaller setting on the Crop-A-Dile. So let's do the 3/16 of an inch one first, because I already have my Crop-A-Dile set to that. If you look at the instructions, it shows you which cubes to use with which embellishments. Because you can also do like flat embellishments, which I don't have any, and round embellishments, which I'm not even sure what that is. What is a round embellishment? But anyway, whatever. So it shows you the most common ones are your eyelets, both sizes, your flat embellishments, and then you might have the eyelet washer combo. So if you just have the eyelets, that's what I'm going to show you today, because that's all I use this for. So let's do the 3/16, and as you can see here, we need to have our cubes. We need to have the A cube at the top and our 1 cube at the bottom. And I'll show you what top and bottom means, because that confused me too. Your bottom is your base, okay? And your top is the eyelet picture, all right? So I'm just gonna open this up to show you how you change the cubes. Sorry, my hands are having kind of a bad day, guys. This is probably not the best day to do a close-up video. All right, so you just pull those out to open them, and then you can remove your cubes. I usually don't remove them all the way, but you can, maybe. All right, so we said the top needs to be the letter A, which is gonna be really, 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 really hard to see on the camera. But this is the A side. It says it right down here in the corner. Yeah, it's not gonna, sorry, you'll have to look at yours. But the A one is the bigger one that's springy. And then the other side is your smaller one. So you'll use the bigger one for your 3/16 inch eyelets, and you'll use the smaller one for your 1/8 inch. The other sides are for your flat embellishments, and I've never used those, okay? So right now we're gonna leave it on A, and you just put it back in there. You know, it's supposed to be rather easy. Like I said, I usually just turn them. I don't actually pull them out. There we go. All right, and once you have it in there, you just close the plastic. Oh, it wasn't in all the way, sorry. Just close the plastic. Oh, this is why I stopped pulling it out, because it started misbehaving. I think you have to, yeah, do you see where the little plus sign is there? And then on the other side is like some dots. If you put those against the metal, I think it stays in better. They don't tell you that in the instructions. Oh, this is just turning out lovely, isn't it? Sorry guys. This is why I stopped actually taking the whole thing out. You don't have to. You can just kind of pull it halfway up and flip it, and that's so much easier, and you don't have to deal with that. So, all right. So we have the bigger top, and it's where the picture is. So snap that closed, and then the base one is your bottom one. And it's a little more confusing because it has a lot more sides, as you can probably see. So the one that we use for the 3/16 is number 1. And the number 1 is down in this corner here. So it's your silver color, and it matches. That's how I remember, because this is silver. So the other ones are like a bronze, and then there's like a goldish, and then there's like a copper color. So the silver one is what you use for your 3/16. And again, put it in so that that plus sign and those little dots are up against the metal. Oh, sorry guys, hold on. Yeah, all right, there we go. Okay, so once it's in there, just snap that shut, okay? So we want to make sure when we do this that this part goes through the top of our eyelet, but we need to punch our hole first. And since I can't do anything halfway, I just got out some Project Life cards that I have, and I thought I would just make some tags. But you know, I mean, this is a Crop-A-Dile little tutorial just to help my friend Dee Dee, and I can't even do this without rounding the corners. I didn't get the ink out though, guys, so that's good. So I'm just gonna move the guide out of the way. Most of the time, I just eyeball where I want to put the hole. You can measure, you can, you know, make sure you're exactly center. That's totally cool. I just don't usually do that. So we've got the 3/16 inch hole. All right, and I'm just going to guess right about there. So the punching of the hole is not the hard part. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So then you've got your hole. So you just want to put your eyelet in. All right, now here comes the part that you just need to pay attention to where you're putting your tool. Okay, so we have the eyelet, the front, which is the top, and the back, which is the base, okay? So our little, I don't know what to call it. I'm gonna call it a prong. The prong goes in the top. So I'm gonna put it in there, and then I'm gonna flip it and kind of show you. All right, so your prong is going through the top of the eyelet. And then that means that your base is going to be on the like shaft part. I hope this is helping Dee Dee. Okay, so then you just squeeze it. And I go as hard as I can, but not like so hard, because I have actually, and I just did it. Some of my eyelets are the 3/16 inch ones I have. If I press too hard, they start to come back up through the paper. Can you see that? So I did it too. I did it too hard. Anyway, there you go. There is your eyelet, and some of them will look weird on the back. I think it even says that somewhere in the Crop-A-Dile instructions that, you know, some eyelets they just do this. So this isn't wrong. It's just the particular kind of eyelet. And then we'll do a smaller one and I'll show you the difference. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of rough on the back. Sometimes I will take like a sanding block and just kind of sand that down if I'm worried about it. But that just happens. It's not a defect. All right, so let's do an 1/8 of an inch. Well, what I'm calling an 1/8 of an inch eyelet. It's not really. It's like, so what would that be? It's like right in between a 2/16 and a 3/16. So it's right in between the 1/8 and the 3/16. But you know, like, how am I supposed to deal with that? So like I said, what I do in that situation is I punch an 1/8 of an inch hole and I give myself plenty of space. So I usually make the hole a little lower because I'm gonna have to force the eyelet through a little bit. But it works. But I don't want to tear like through the top, you know, of my tag. So let's get an eyelet here. Oh, we're gonna have to change our settings. Okay, so you'll see here, I have to kind of carefully force it through the hole. But I have tried to do the 3/16 inch hole with these and it's just too big. So I just kind of, you know, carefully force it through and it works. I do it all the time. Okay, so this is the 1/8 inch. So we're gonna have to change our cubes. Now I know I'm gonna turn it this way again because that's how I was doing it before. I know for the top, it's just the exact opposite side. There are only 2 little prongy things on this particular cube. And I know it's the smaller one, okay? And then I'm gonna look at the instructions because I wanna make sure I'm telling you right. For the bottom, it's the 1/8 inch, or I'm sorry, it's the number 3 for the 1/8 inch. Can't speak. Which is the gold one. I don't even try to look at the numbers anymore. So it actually matches. They're both gold. So, yeah. So again, your prongy side matches your base side, if that makes any sense at all. I hope it does. I think it does. But that's what you want for your 1/8 inch, okay? And we're just gonna do this exact same thing. We wanna make sure that this top part, so the prongy part, goes in through the top of the eyelet, okay? And then we squeeze. And I'll show you, wait, let me do it a little harder. These I can do a little harder because the backs come out much better. So here's the front, and then here's the back. They're much smoother, these eyelets, if you can see the difference, maybe, in how the backs turn out. So it's just the difference in eyelets. It's not anything that you're doing wrong or anything like that. Cool? All right, Dee Dee, I hope that helped. I feel like maybe it made it worse, but you can let me know. And yeah, I will try to help you further if necessary. I saw you struggling, and I knew how much I struggled when I first started, you know, using this contraption, and I wanted to help you out. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the next part of this video, which was Dee Dee's request as well. I was gifted a ton of beads, and I shared them with Dee Dee and Lisa because Lisa had said that she didn't have a whole lot, and I was putting together 2 packages at once, and I thought I'd send some to Dee Dee as well. And yeah, so she has these beads now, and she wasn't quite sure, you know, I mean, she knows what to do with them, but she just wanted kind of like a, you know, tutorial, so, or whatever. So last night, in anticipation of doing this, I sat down and made a couple bead dangles, and well, okay, I am gonna start this off by saying I am not a jewelry maker. I have never ever taken any kind of like course on how to make jewelry. I probably don't know what I'm doing at all. I have watched videos, just like, you know, everybody else. I don't know the correct terminology, I'm sure. So I'm probably going to say things that, you know, you wonderful jewelry makers are going to laugh at. Just, you know, bear with me. This is just stuff that I've either come up with on my own or seen someone else do and tried to, you know, do it myself. So this is, you know, this is not like a formal tutorial. This is just to help my friend. So that being said, last night I sat down and just made some bead dangles, you know, in the way that I know how. And I had seen a tutorial on making really pretty seed bead flowers that Jennifer at A Trace of Sparkle did a very long time ago, but it's still on her channel. And when I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do that. And I hadn't tried it yet. So last night I was like, oh, well, Dee Dee wants to know what to do with beads. So I will make one of these so that I can, you know, make it in the video and show her. I will not be doing that today. I will probably never make one of these again. Jennifer makes it look amazingly easy and simple. I am going to link her video in the description box so that you can go and check out what these are actually supposed to look like and how to make them. Because if I tried to do this on camera, there would be a lot of probably bad words, and I don't want to do that. There were more beads on the floor than in the flower when I was making this last night. And my hands do not know how to operate with something this small. So this is kind of horrifying, but here's my results so you can see kind of the idea. But I promise you that Jennifer's are much prettier, and she does an excellent job of explaining how to do this. So if you are one of those wonderfully gifted people that can actually deal with seed beads in a fiddly way, then go check out her video, because she also has one, I think, on how to make a butterfly in the same fashion. So yeah, I wish I could make these, but it's not going to happen. So this is my one and only one, and it will sit on my desk, or it might go in the garbage. I'm not sure yet, because it kind of made me angry. But there you go. So that is in the description box below. And then I made just a couple quick little bead dangles as an example, and then I'll make one or two here on camera. But this is just seed beads and bugle beads. I do know that term. And then this one was some other beads that I took apart from a hair clip, and then some beads that I got from my sister-in-law. I thought that was really cute. And then yeah, so I got out some beads, I got out some tools, and I got out some findings. I do know that word. And I have some wire here. So I also wanted to say that, do you remember back in the day when us old people were young, we used to make the little seed bead safety pins and pin them on our denim jacket lapels? I am aging myself, but I know some of you will remember. You can do that and make it look super cute for a junk journal. So we might do that, but I also found, and this is thanks to the lovely Liz at Mrs. Cog. She did a tutorial on not paper clip, these aren't paper clips, these are safety pins. and she showed these coil-less ones that I had never heard of before. And I immediately went and ordered some on Amazon, but I didn't bother to check the size of the ones I was ordering, and I got the super large ones, which is fine. I have used them, but I'll show you what's great about these coil-less ones in a minute. So let's do something kind of simple first. I'll show you how I did this one first. As you can see, hopefully I am zoomed in enough. If not, I will zoom in further. So that one I used wire, and it's just this jewelry wire. I have no idea what gauge this is because it came to me in this state, but I know that my beads fit on it, so that's fine with me. So I'm gonna move this out of the way, so maybe this will focus better, and then I'll try to use my hand as well. Okay, so if you see, there's no end on my wire, you know, it's just a wire. So we need to curl this in some fashion so that our beads don't fall off. So can you see that little curl at the bottom? Okay, so we're gonna do that. And mine are not pretty. I don't do a fantastic job. Like I said, arthritis. So it's just take it or leave it, guys. All right, so you want one of these, and I believe that these might be called needle nose pliers. I don't know. That's what I call them. They're cylindrical. They're thinner at the top. I also have this tiny bitty pair that are a little smaller. But these are easier for my hand. All right, so you want to take the end, and if you see how I'm holding my pliers, I've got my hand kind of like inverted. And actually, sometimes it's easier. All right, scrap that. We're gonna do it this way. If you hold the wire away from you, so you have the part that you want to curl facing you, and take your pliers and just grab the very, very tip of that wire with the very, very tip of your pliers. And if you bring the wire up while you kind of curl your pliers forward, okay, then you have this. Come on. There we go. Can you see that? So you just have the first part of your curl. All right, now you're gonna put your pliers back in the way you had them before, okay? So I'm just holding them forward in my hand like this. Put the tip of your pliers back in the hole that you created by curling that. And then do the same thing again. So you're gonna move this hand forward and this hand back, okay, with your wire at the same time, and just do kind of a half turn. Whoops, that did not go the way I wanted it to. There we go. And just make sure you're holding it, kind of tight. So now we have a bit more of a curl, and you can do this as many times as you want, and just keep kind of, curling it until you get however big of a curl that you want. So I just did, like maybe 3 times, trying to show you what it looks like from the different angles. And that's plenty. And then I just make sure that that pokey part isn't, gonna hurt anyone. And it's fine. And this is way too long of a piece of wire, but that's okay. So now that you have that, you can put anything you want on here. And I am going to use, even though I have beads out, I'm gonna use some from in here. I think I'll use some of these pink ones. so I have, let's see, there are some bugle beads in here and some seed beads. And then there are even, this was like a mix, there are even some bigger clear seed beads as well. So I'm just pulling some of those out. And I'm just gonna plop them on my mat here. Now this might be fiddly, and you know, I apologize for the state of my hands. But all right, so I just do what looks good to me. Let's see, I also have like some metallic colors here. I'm not sure if I want to use those or not. Probably not for this. I just do what I like. So I just kind of start playing. So I probably would start with something, I don't know. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. So I'm gonna put the big one on there first. So you just slide it on like so. And then, yeah, I don't know. I just try to keep it symmetrical as I go. So maybe like three of the little pink seed beads after that. And then maybe a bugle. Whoops, the bugle didn't slide all the way down. There we go. And then I'll do 3 more seed beads. It's not focusing very well on those colors. I hope you can see that. And then another large one. And I'd probably call that done, like at this point. Let me get something darker. I chose these colors because of the journal I'm currently working on, and I thought, you know, they would work. But now that I'm doing the tutorial, these are probably not the best colors, but I think I should be able to get that to focus. Come on, let me move my arm out of the way. There, I think you can see that. So I just keep it, you know, I just try to keep it symmetrical from, you know, one end to the other. And then you don't want to have to deal with all this wire, right? I mean, I've got this huge long piece. My beads are way down here. So I have this tool. I call it my cutty tool. It's also a plier of sorts, but in this little center part, or this, it cuts. What I do, I'm gonna stop showing my ignorance. My husband laughs at me. So I make sure I use my fingernail or, you know, my finger, and I push my beads all the way down so they're nice and tight against the bottom, okay? And then I measure about, I mean, this is such a technical measurement, about a fingertip length. I don't know, 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and I just cut the rest of the wire off. Now, it sometimes will go flying, so just be careful. Don't like put it in your face when you do it. So you're left with, oh my gosh, come on. You're left with about that much left, okay? And it doesn't have to be an exact measurement, whatever you're comfortable with. And then we're just gonna do the same thing that we did on the bottom. We're gonna curl it. This time you just need to take your needle nose pliers, these things, and you want to put them as close to the bead as you can, and also be able to bend. And you want to bend it at a 90-degree angle. So let me do it, and then I will attempt to show you. Oh, my beads are moving. Okay, so can you see that it's kind of 90 degrees. Again, not an exact science. And then you're gonna take that, again, put the wire, the end of the wire towards you, okay? And we're gonna basically do the same thing. Put your hands, hold your pliers like this. Grab the tip of the wire with the tip of your pliers. Try to keep your beads in place. I'm using my fingernail here, my thumbnail. And you wanna keep that 90-degree angle if possible. So just turn your plier hand forward, and you're just gonna keep doing that until you are tight up against your bead. And you just wanna do, you know, like, I turn until my pliers hit the other side of the wire. Does that make sense? Because you wanna keep a small curl. Oh, this is probably disastrous. Okay. If you go too far with your pliers on every turn, you will end up with a really kind of whacked out curl. And no one wants a whacked out curl, right? So I just keep that 90-degree angle as much as possible. Sometimes it's not. And I just turn until I am out of wire, basically. And then I will sometimes go in, you can see that, hopefully, and just kind of push, grab the curl and just kind of push everything together. All right, let's see if you can actually see what I did here. Does that kind of make sense? I hope that makes sense. So once you have this, you can add, you can do lots of things. You can just simply add a garment pin to the top. Let me find a gold one. I don't know why I care, but for some reason I do. You can just add it to a garment pin. No, actually, well, I mean, you can if your pliers make a big enough curl, but I like my dangles to hang from this part of my garment pin, and that's not gonna work. So what I do is I add a jump ring, and these are jump rings. Let me find a small gold one. So they have, you know, they're the little rings with the like slit in the top so you can separate them. The biggest thing to remember when you're doing this, you'll need 2 pairs of pliers, and you want to put each pair of pliers on the opposite side, and you want your slit to be in like the top, okay? So, oh, now my hands are shaking, sorry guys. All right, so we have it like this, sort of. You don't ever want to pull the ring apart, okay? You want to, hopefully this will focus. That's not gonna focus. But you can see the pliers. You don't ever want to pull apart because you will damage the integrity of that ring. You just want to twist in opposite directions to open it. And I will show you, hopefully. Now it's open. Can you see? Oh my gosh. I didn't think this would be this difficult. Do you see how it's open now? No, stay on the paper. And it's just, it's twisted as opposed to pulled apart, okay? And you can just attach that to the top or bottom or wherever of your little bead dangle in the little coil you made, like something like this. Oh geez. Okay. I'm gonna use my pliers. Oh, yeah. All right, so once you get that back, well, once you get it hooked on, okay, you want to do the same thing to close it that you did to open it, just the opposite. So you're just going to twist it back together until it is lined up. And it's not going to focus. Well, that was interesting. So now I can't see what I'm doing. Let me stand up. My the application I use to screen share just cut off on me. So I'm gonna stand up so I can see in my camera. All right. So now you have, oh my gosh, there we go. See how it's all closed up? All right, so then you can put that on your garment pin, like so, and it will dangle nicely from the bottom. I hope that makes sense. Now, this video is getting much longer than I thought it would, but I'm gonna do, all right, you also have something, I don't know what you call these. I think they might be called head pins, but you can buy them in different sizes. You can buy them with different heads at the top. Like this one just has a little curl. This one has like a little blingy rhinestone. And then I also have, you can get them in different colors. I have gold ones as well that are just like plain, you know, heads on the top like a nail. And you can get these in any craft store. You can probably even get them at Walmart. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them in different lengths as well. I have some itty bitty ones too. So if you can see the difference in the size, but you can cut them. So I usually tend to get the longer ones. That way I can do whatever I want with them and just cut them down. So let's do, I want to use the blingy one. This is my only blingy one, but I want to use it for this journal that I'm making. So let's make one with that. And, oh, I wish I could sit and do this, but that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna pull my beads over here closer since I'm standing now. And let's see, what do I want to use? I think I'm gonna do something similar. No, I think I'm gonna use, oh geez, being indecisive again. I tell you what, yesterday was crazy. I turned off the camera and I was able to make decisions left, right, and center. Like, it was ridiculous. And I thought, oh, I'll turn the camera back on. But then I was like, no, because I'll probably not be able to do anything if the camera's back on. So I actually finished the ribbon bound journal. And because I was just like on a roll. And I felt really bad, guys, because I wanted to do more decorating with you. But it was just kind of one of those situations where working by myself was much better, I guess. So I am going to film, I'll film today, but probably not upload until tomorrow, how I do the ribbon to bind it, and then there'll be a flip through so you'll be able to see. I don't know, do I like this? I think I was not in frame at all for any of this. I think I do. I think it's cute. It's got like these flower, they're like flower shaped bead caps. And then I just put this white bead in the middle, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do a whole lot more. So I wonder if I should put something else on first. What else do I have here? see if I can find the hole. Hello. Oh, there it is. I had to look at my camera to see it. Because now I am super close to you, and I'm really sorry about that. I don't know why. I've never had that app just stop working on me. It's weird. Very weird. It's just, you know, another day, another crazy mishap. All right, let me look at, there we go. It's probably not gonna be too much too, okay? Let's try something else, or not, maybe. Oh, here, I have an idea. I have these. I think are really pretty. They're like little filigree, I don't know, that's what I'm calling them, like filigree balls, I don't know. I have them in silver and gold and in different sizes, and I like them because they have lots of holes, and I just don't even worry. There's probably like specific holes you're supposed to, you know, actually put the thing through, but I just pick one because can't see because I'm old and my fingers and hands don't work. Now I can't find the hole in this bead. Oh my gosh. All right. Is that it? Yeah, I feel like I should just send this video to Dee Dee and not actually upload it to the public. Hopefully it has been informative in some way. Okay. If nothing else, it was entertaining. Okay, I think I like that. That's cute. And then you've got the little bling on the bottom. All right, so what we're gonna do is the same thing we did with the wire. So we want to bend this at 90 degrees first. Like so. Okay, and then turn it towards you like this, and hold that angle and hold the beads down with your either your fingernail or your fingertip, whatever works, and grab the end and just like a half twist, probably more than a half twist. Grab it again, twist some more. Hopefully this is sort of working. I'm at a really weird angle now. Hopefully you can even see anything I'm doing. I lost my angle. There we go. All right, guys. Yeah. So that's not gorgeous in any way, but I'm just gonna straighten it up. And that, you know, that's part of it too. You just kind of make it work. That's what I do anyway. I just fiddle with it until it's kind of the way I want it. There. Cute. Now we can add a jump ring to that as well. Do I have one that's already open? That would be easier. No? Okay. So I'll show you, now that I'm standing, I'm even closer, you might be able to actually see this. Oh my goodness. All right. I know that the jewelry makers out there are screaming, Can you see that? Oh, this doesn't have anything to focus against. Let me move this over here, maybe. There, yay! Okay, so we are going to simply move one hand forward, one hand back, and twist this open like so. Okay. And then we will attach it here. Maybe, come on. No, you're not gonna do this. There we go. All right. And put our pliers back in the same-ish position and just go the opposite direction with our hands. And avoid the temptation to pull it apart. There. I like that. Super cute. And that will go great in my next journal. So I hope that was helpful. I feel like this video has gotten really long. But I was going to show you what's cool about the coil-less safety pins. So, you know, with a normal safety pin, you can only put beads on, you know, this part, and you have to leave room to stick this into whatever, you know, you're sticking it onto in your journal, piece of fabric or paper or whatever. So there's not a whole lot of space for beads. If I do this, I usually just do like one little dangle or bead or something. So like I have, you know, this, and maybe like a seed bead or two, if you can fit them on there, because sometimes they're, you know, the openings in the beads are too small. But they're, you know, still useful. But these are nice because you can fill it up and they spin around to the other side. So let me just put them on real quick here. So you can put a whole bunch of beads on. You could even add, you know, a dangle if you wanted, like this, and keep adding your seed beads. Oops. My fumbling hands. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're even here. And everything just spins to the back. Whoops, like so. So then you have this whole space to clip into your, or to stick into something in your journal. So it's so nice. Or you can, you know, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's so much better. But that idea came from Liz, who is the lovely Mrs. Cog. Oh, my beads are, oh, I see what's happening. Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna leave it like this anyway. My seed beads are going through the jump ring, so it's not staying even, but you get the idea. So now I bought my coil-less safety pins on Amazon because I was too impatient. And like I said, I got a huge size and I honestly don't use them as often as I would like to. But they have them at Hobby Lobby and Michael's and all those places too, probably Joanne. Excuse me. So yeah, you can get them in lots of different lengths. So check those out if you're interested. And yeah, that's it, guys. I'm sorry this got so long. Like I said, you know, I wanted to help my friend out. So I hope at least Dee Dee found this interesting and helpful. And I hope, you know, maybe someone else did too. That would be nice. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I just wanted to kind of, you know, show you how I do it, I guess. I don't know. Give some ideas of different things you can do, and maybe I'll do another video in the future when I, you know, maybe learn some more myself. And yeah, anyway, I hope this was helpful to someone, and I will be back tomorrow with more ribbon bound journal. And I also have my mom's thrift store finds to share with you. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like I have lots of things, but yeah, I will be back soon, guys. Thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.